Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I found something interesting that I'd like to talk about. There's a little girl, and this video was 2 years ago, so I'm late to the party, but she has a 16-foot pet python. You heard me right, a 16-foot pet python. So I just want to kind of react to the whole video and stuff and see how everything goes and see what happens and just to react to it. Let's go. To put into sheer mass how big this python is, your average human is around 11 feet, or not 11 feet. No, your average human is around 5'11". Okay, let's just say you're 6 feet. Okay, another 6 foot human stands on top of you. That's 12 feet. Then gets a 3-foot dog and then have him stand on top of you. That's 16 feet. That's how big this python is. It's bigger than two 6-foot grown men stacked on top of each other. That is insane. Let's just watch it. I do have to say, I love the coloration of the python here. It's I love snakes, but I've always been fascinated when it comes to pythons. I love pythons, but I always love these yellow, the yellow coloration of the snake. I don't know why. I haven't seen any pythons in the wild that are this color. I don't know why they're this color, but I'm probably gonna have to research that. Hello, this is Caleb from the future. So apparently, I think it is albino python. It might be an albino python. That's what it was. I could be wrong though. I was trying to search up yellow pythons, and this is all that kept popping up. I mean, they look pretty close to what this one looks really close. This one does not. This one does not look close. But yeah, no, it could very likely be just an albino python, or python that doesn't have a lot of melanin in its skin. So just a heads up there, right there, before we continue on with the video.
Jared likes to chill on my daughter quite a lot. She'd just come up onto the couch and wrestle on my daughter for most of it. Over the years, they've grown together. They're just very used to it.
That is probably the nicest snake I've ever met. One thing you can note that I doubt the father does is leave the daughter home alone with the snake. That is a very big snake, and it is very capable of doing some serious damage. So if you do have a pet snake like this, never leave it alone with little kids, especially kids this age. It is not a good idea. But I just love how the relationship between her and the snake is. It's adorable.
Each other's company. When I've introduced Remy to Cher, he was about 2 years old, and Cher was quite a tiny snake. My daughter would just hold Cher in her hands at the time, but now
look how crazy this is. Okay. The daughter's around 2 years old right here. Okay. Look how tiny that snake is. That is like the size of a corn snake.
my daughter would
And
just
then
hold
look how it got bigger right there.
Cher in her hands at the time, but now Cher's.
That is massive, and that is a very fast. Well, how old is she? She was 2. It was like 4 years. 4 years of growth. So that is an insane amount of growth.
So big, she couldn't even lift her up. As a parent, I had to make sure that Cher was tame and sociable to be held. I spent every day, multiple times a day, with Cher, just getting her used to human interaction.
Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. Like, you gotta make sure you do that because these kinds of animals are very dangerous. Even with dogs and stuff too. You have to make sure you have the animal very tame, very well kept around the house. Make sure it is able to be touched by a human without going berserk. And I like what the father did here by making sure the snake was tame first, making sure the snake was able to be handled before he started letting his daughter play around with it. That is a very smart move, and props to the dad for doing that.
But on the other front, I needed to make sure my daughter genuinely knew how to be gentle.
There, that's
As
another
soon as
thing.
she understood what she needed to do, no grabbing, no poking,
Yep.
just being gentle and respectful. That's all I needed from her, was to behave how I behave. And she proved that to me.
Yeah, with these kinds of animals, you can't just do that. You can't just poke around with them. But this is a very, very... It's interesting, because usually I know a lot of people would be freaked out about stuff like this. Look at that. Bro's not even on, like, bro's probably just standing on his neck, and she's standing up. Like, look, she's probably like, what, 3 feet, maybe? 3 feet? And the snake's just, like, standing on his neck. That is a very big snake. I wonder where do they keep it in, like, a separate room or something? Do they have, like, a separate room for it, or does it just lie around everywhere? Because I doubt the dad lets the snake sleep with her in the bed or in her room, because that can lead to a lot of problems. So they have to keep it in a separate room, because I doubt the snake just wanders off by itself. I wouldn't let an animal like this wander around by itself. That's just me. I doubt he does. Even though they've become such close friends, there's still rules and needs to follow.
She's
Yeah.
never left unsupervised or
Yep.
something like that. She's never allowed to feed her until she's a lot older.
When I'm 16.
When you're 16.
Or 16.
No one gets to see
Yeah.
the good nature of these animals and what they're really like when they're not being stressed out. As soon as a large constrictor is shown with anything, it's always a bad, negative perception. The snakes
Yeah.
haven't bitten us. The cats have bitten us and scratched us. Cher is probably the most gentle snake I've ever owned. My
So it sounds
daughter
like
is
he
very
has
lucky
experience.
to be given this sort of experience under the circumstances. She gets to experience the true giants of the species, and she has a very rare and unique relationship with them.
Yeah, that is a very well-behaved snake, and I like how the father just... That's adorable. That's adorable. But
Like, comment.
I love how the father just is able to handle the snake and make sure, because he's not... Because what a lot of people do, a lot of stupid people, they will end up leaving their kids with snakes. Not even snakes. Let's take snakes out of the subject. It could be a dog, and since they're young and they don't know how to act, and they're still learning, they're still growing, they're a kid. The dog or whatever animal can end up hurting them, or even worse, in dire situations, I hate to say it, but killing them. He already said it. The cat scratched them multiple times, scratched them and bit them. The snake has never done that. So props to the dad for teaching her daughter how to handle a snake and making sure she's never alone. And I do agree with the dad on this one, with waiting until she's 16. She is still way too young to be left by herself with the snake, because that is a massive snake and that thing can do damage. But then again, I'm not trying to say these things are monsters, because this snake is a very, very well-behaved snake, more well-behaved than my cat, and that's saying something. So this is the most tame snake, and this shows you that not all animals are cruel, bloodless killers. Well, that's all I have for today. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will be making more content like this shortly, and have a wonderful day. Bye.